Welcome, everybody, to day 79 of our session 4, Joy of the Spirit, of the online 21 days course. My name is Mark, and I'm in northern New Jersey, and I'm delighted to spend this evening with you. Here's a reminder to get your foot soaking basin ready if you haven't already got it ready. Some water, salt, a rinse, and a towel. So before we introduce our guest tonight, here's a few announcements about the course. If you're new to Sahaja Yoga, we have lots of resources. You can ask to speak to a Sahaja Yogi in a breakout room by just sending a message to breakout room help in the Zoom chat. You can review all the previous recordings on our website, and you can actually request a one-on-one sort of big brother, big sister, someone who's been doing Sahaja Yoga for a while and will work with you as a mentor. So and then the other exciting announcement is that we will have a seminar for people, and you can find out in the Zoom chat, and there'll be a slide as well that tells people about this seminar. So it's the weekend of November 8th and 9th. It'll go all day Saturday and most of Sunday. And it's a chance to go really deep into what is it when I stop thinking and just start enjoying. So there's a registration fee because we do feed you, and you can either stay in dormitory style accommodations that we'll arrange for you, or you can stay, say, in a hotel or an Airbnb of your own choosing. The nearest airport is Newark. It's much easier to get to where the seminar will be from there than from the other two New York area airports. And you're welcome to arrive a bit early, say Friday evening, actually recommended, so you can settle in a bit. And then you can also leave either Sunday or Monday. And so we urge you to register to make sure that you get a space. So as I mentioned earlier, we have lots of support if you've missed any classes. And on Tuesday, we looked at the principle of the mother that's within us. And today's topic will be the principle of the Father within us. So in today's class, we'll follow our full format. We'll have a guided meditation, a short introduction to the topic, a video of the founder of Sahaja Yoga, Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi, live music, a second guided meditation to really take us into the silence, and then we'll look to the experience and knowledge of our presenters to share with us what they have learned practicing Sahaja Yoga. And it's also a chance for you to type questions live to us to answer on air. So I'd like to introduce the other presenter for tonight, Satish,
Hello, everyone.
and our musician, Rhitom.
Good evening,
So,
everyone. Yeah, it's very nice to see you all for this beautiful and auspicious day here. Today, we also celebrate something called as Dashera, which is a very auspicious day. And I am from the Bay Area, California, San Francisco, and I've been meditating for more than 25 years. And what I can tell you is it's been a great journey and a very joyful and a blissful life so far. Thank you.
all right. So, and then our musician is Rhitom, who lives in Calcutta in India. He's been playing the Indian slide guitar for 33 years and tours all over the world, giving concerts. He's also a teacher, and you'll see his website posted in the Zoom chat. So, Rhitom, you also teach.
Yes, I do teach the Indian classical music in slide guitar as well as the acoustic guitar in both the form. And recently, for the last 2 years, I've been doing the vocal classes also from Australia.
Wow. Where were you last on tour?
Last tour, this is my US tour right now going on. So the previously I visit Australia in the Eastern.
Wow. And so what instrument will you play tonight and what rag will you play?
Yeah, so I play the Indian slide guitar. It's a modification of the Hawaiian six-string guitar. It's been specially designed to play all the nuances of the Indian classical music. And today I opt to play Rag Bhopali, which is basically Agya Chakra Raga. It's for forgiveness. That's what I've chosen.
All right, looking forward to it, to open this very much.
Thank you.
Yay. So everybody, let's now go into our first meditation together. Our topic today is the Father Principle. So in our meditation, we can explore that there are many different qualities within us, qualities of innocence, qualities of nurturing and supporting ourselves and others, and also the qualities of sort of guiding and looking after ourselves and others, which, of course, many of these principles are shared with both the Mother Principle and the Father Principle. But we can also just focus tonight on the Father Principle and see whether this inward silence is strengthened when we think, what qualities of a father are awakened in me? So we can think about the aspects of our lives in which we have to be doing a lot of things. We're very responsible. We sometimes are put into a role where people kind of look to us for some kind of leadership or guidance. And so how do we handle that without getting into our ego?
This
How
is
do
the
we maintain
maximum
our
sound
sense of
coming in
ourself?
the laptop.
So the way to maintain that status is to stay in a state of balance. So let's balance together. Let's sit now. I'm going to move away from our thinking state and into our just being and experiencing state without analyzing anything. So our attention is on our breathing. Bring the attention into this present moment, not remembering things and not wondering about what's going to happen tomorrow. So we've learned there's a subtle feminine mothering energy within us called Kundalini. So let's raise up this energy and then put ourselves into the protection, the bandhan. So we can do that together. And again, if anything is really new or unfamiliar, you can ask in the Zoom chat. Please explain. So we're going to establish this flow of pure love from Kundalini up through all the chakras. And now a shield of protection around all our chakras as well. So most people I meet are a mixture of things from the past and concerns about the future, just like me. So to help soothe down all the stuff that still kind of invades our attention from the past, we can clear what we call the left channel. So we just put the right hand towards the floor, or if you're sitting on the floor, it's resting on the ground. Our left hand is out like this. You might have a photograph at home. You can put your hand towards that photograph or the photograph you see on screen. And we invite the purifying power of this planet, this Mother Earth, to please absorb anything that's heavy, anything that's troubling us from the past. And as the Mother Earth absorbs it, we let go of it. If you're on your own time frame and you're doing this in the morning or evening, of course you can sit for as long as it takes you to feel a difference, a lightening, a more gentle and kind feeling towards yourself. And we sometimes put our attention on things that have not yet happened, and that can be worrisome for us because it is unknown. So let's clear out all the thoughts about what might happen. Our right hand is now resting on our lap towards the photograph. Our left hand goes over our left shoulder. Many of us suffer from overload of information, so much input coming at us all the time. Every app has pop-up things. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Do you want this choice, that choice? Involves so much of our mental attention, our thinking attention. So now we want all the stress on our liver, on all the organs in our body that have to deal with all that thinking, to just ventilate out the left hand. And now, with our foot soak bowl ready in front of us, we can put our feet into it and continue to let stuff flow out. But in this case now, using the elements of earth and water together, the salt and the water. And to help soothe down the overused organs that really reflect all our thinking, we can put our right hand on our navel and then move it down about half an inch or an inch and press this lower abdomen. And this is a way to focus our attention on our second center, Swadhisthana, and invite Mother Kundalini to actually heal any of the damage done to these organs, the extra stress put on them, the spleen, the kidney, the liver, from all that mental work. Now we can put our hand on our navel. And we invite Kundalini to please soothe down this Nabhi chakra. And the quality here is peace. So even though we think we can't do much about all the excitement and lack of peace in the world, as we achieve our inner silence, our inner tranquility, this actually helps to soothe down the environment outside of us as well. So let me become peaceful. Now we put the right hand in the center of the chest, on the sternum bone. And it doesn't do much good if we're trying to lead and guide others and we're not able to lead and guide ourselves. So let's ask, I want to be the leader of myself. With compassion and wisdom, let me be confident in who I am and what I can do. Now we can put our hand here at the base of the neck. As long as we have concepts about one world united, everybody united with their consciousness of being one human family, but in this chakra, let us fully awaken within ourselves this awareness, actually feeling it as a physical fact of our connection to other people. They can feel us in them and we can feel them in us. Now we're going to see if we can get our attention to the top of our head and maintain a state of silence. So just before we do that, we can rinse our feet So we're ready for the rest of the program. And you can just set aside your bowl and dump it out later. So now let's put our right hand on top of our head. And what am I feeling in the palm of my right hand? We raise our right hand up in the air and just see, what am I feeling in the palm of my right hand? What am I feeling in the palm of my left hand? So now we can just sit in silent meditation for a minute or two. So we can ask the question, what is my potential? What do I truly desire to accomplish? What will have the most meaning for me, bring me the most satisfaction and joy? And a key part of that is opening ourselves to feeling this universal love that is everywhere. So Mataji will talk about this all-pervading power of universal love and our relationship to that in this video. Let's enjoy it together.
The love is something which is a power that is looking after us, the power that is guiding us, the power that has nourished us, has brought us to this level. We, in our ego, human beings, think that, oh, we have done this, we have done that. You have done nothing. You can't even create a blade of grass. You cannot. Can you? You cannot create anything that is living. Then why say that we have done this, we have done that? You have done nothing, but you have created all kinds of devils out of your cocoons and put them on top of your heads. First, let us be humble about it, then we can understand what is love of God. Love of God is a power. It's an all-pervading power. It's the subtle power which resides in all the elements, in all the molecules, in all the atoms. The vibrations that you see, say, in a sulfur dioxide, when you see the isometric movement of the atoms, then know it is the love of God which is working it out. Now, it is easy to say there is no love of God, but this is not a very scientific way of looking at things. If you are scientific minded, then you have to understand this is a hypothesis which I am putting before you. And if it is not proved, then you can deny. Up till now, I would have accepted that you said there is no God, but that also is not scientific, because you have not seen yet. You have not gone into that direction. You have not tried to find it out. How can you say there is no God? Only because in your small little brain, you have conceived an idea that there is no God. So secondly, you have to have an open mind to understand God's love. A very open mind. Open mind, like a student who goes to the university, doesn't challenge a professor, but sits down to listen, to find out what the professor has to teach. Thirdly, we must understand that we know very little, very, very little wee bit. We are using a very wee bit of our brain to understand anything. So whatever so-called knowledge we have got is absolute and limited knowledge. Maybe it is just ignorance, or maybe something mythical. Let us keep it as a hypothesis. Now, I say that there is God, and I say that His love is all-pervading. All the great saints, incarnations, prophets, all the great religions have said this. I am not saying it for the first time. I am only here to prove that they have said it is the truth, and you can find out whether it is the truth or not. But you should be the seekers of truths and not just intellectuals or some sort of argumentative personalities. Try to understand that at human level you have not been able to discover that great power of love. This is a fact, must accept. You have not been able to feel God so far. Oh, you might have read a lot, but you have had no experience of God. You have never felt His love. Then one must know that we have been ignorant. The darkness of ignorance has been on us, and in darkness we are hitting each other. We have no idea as to how we are related to each other. It's a crazy world we are creating today because of this darkness. This darkness has to go away, and for that the light of God's love has to come. Now the question could be, how can we know God? We know more about the motor car that we drive, the machinery, much less about this our machinery, which is so beautiful and so subtle. To know this, you have to become the knower. And the knower is the spirit where you have to reach. But for that, you don't have to do anything. Kundalini has to do some job. And that job is simple because she is your mother. She's been your mother all your lives. And now she wants to give you a second birth. That you have to have. It's no use certifying yourself twice born or saying that I'm a person who has got realization. It is no use deceiving yourself, no use. When you get your realization, the first thing that happens to you The first and foremost thing that will happen to you, that on your central nervous system, you will develop a new dimension of collective consciousness, a new depth on your central nervous system. You can feel your own centers and the centers of others on your 5 fingers and 6 and 7 centers. This has to happen. The one who thinks I know a lot, I am a great Pandit, I am this and that, I think all of them are on their way to Nark. Only the way to rise is to ascend through Kundalini awakening. There is no other way. Some people think that we have to be very upright, straightforward in life. If you are honest, if you are all other things, then it's done. But another may ask, why? For what? What's the purpose of all this? Why should we have this balanced life? Why should we go through this rigmarole of being very steady, this, that? Anybody can ask, young people will ask this question. Why this nonsense of doing all these things? For what? This balance is for the ascent. Without the balance, it cannot ascend. That's why the balance has to come. That's why you have to be in the middle. You have to be in moderation. Because you have to ascend. And for the ascent, all the extreme temperament cannot do it. Supposing you have an aeroplane which has one wing missing, will it fly? Or which has got one wing very heavy, it won't fly. So one has to have a balance, and this balance is achieved through your being in moderation, or being, I would not say dharmic, because dharmic means nonsense, but dharmic means the dharma within you, the 10 valencies that are within you, which are the valencies of human beings, to be balanced. We can say the 10 commandments, or we can say the 10 valencies, or we can say the Dasha Dharmas. They are inner things, they are not outside, they are inside yourself. When they are in balance, the ascent takes place. Now the difference between all those historical things that we have seen, all those self-realization stories we have heard, have been of 1 or 2 persons. Because of the tree of life, at that time there were 1 or 2 flowers. I find there are thousands today. The blossom time has come, so many will get realization.
That was amazing music performed, Rhythmji. You just put into deep into this state of meditation. Beautiful rendition of the raga.
Thank you so much.
Let's keep our attention deep within and keep being in that meditation state. We're going to be focusing on the father principle in this meditation, how to establish this principle within us. The force within us is Mother Kundalini. When she rises, she awakens this quality. So we can address her as mother. We can take our left hand, put it on our right side of our heart. And here we can request, Mother, please establish my gravity and wisdom to become a good father. Mother Kundalini, may we become benevolent and righteous leaders. Mother Kundalini, may we obtain the great qualities of Sri Rama, who was a righteous king and carried all the 10 valencies of Dharma, which Shri Mataji just spoke in the speech. Mother Kundalini, please take away the over responsibility and burden that I carry of others. I am just responsible for my spirit and my ascent. Oh, Mother Kundalini, please establish our Father principle so that we can become forgiving, compassionate, and loving to others rather than dominating others. We can bring our left hand down and we can bring our right hand in this throat area. This is the Vishuddhi chakra. This is where our spirit, our Atma, gets connected to this universal power of consciousness, and we become collectively conscious. Here we can request Mother Kundalini, please establish my witness state so I can see everything as a play and not get involved in it. Please establish the quality of divine diplomacy within me. Mother, please give me a voice which has sweetness and love, and a tone that doesn't hurt others. Or we can bring our hand down. Now let's reach the state of thoughtless awareness just by keeping that silence within us, keeping our attention on top of our head, and just be in meditation. Can now open our eyes. and here conclude this part of the session. But it doesn't mean we go out of this state of meditation. We always keep this state with us, even after our meditation session, keeping our attention always on the top of our head and being in the present. I hand it over to Mark.
Thank you, Satish, for giving us so much silence. So together, let's raise our Kundalini and give the protection of the Bandhan. And then we'll have a few announcements, and then we'll be talking and sharing. Let's raise our Kundalini. So before I invite Satish back on, we have a few announcements. So we've mentioned at the beginning, if you need to follow up with the class, you can always go to the class website and you'll find all of our classes are recorded for you to watch or rewatch. If we've had a handout, you can download the handout. And here's a reminder about our seminar in New Jersey, the weekend of November 8th and 9th, on Saturday and Sunday. So you're invited to pre-register, and we'd love to meet you in person. And you get to meet some of us that you've met online in person. It's a chance to really see how far we can grow. And there's a house next to where we'll be having the seminar. And this is a house designed and built under the guidance of Shri Mataji herself. So we are in the second half of session 4, The Joy of the Spirit. We meet Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And we're now in the month of October. So our last class will be October 14th. But ongoing, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, even when this main course is not in session, is a chance to do a simpler meditation and foot soak together. Same Zoom link, same time. On Sunday, we'll be looking at what can really help us in our transformation, and that is by attending with new attention, new understanding to how to clear our chakras and see the effect on our awareness. So as I was mentioning earlier, here's the QR code to go to the course website. You can also, in the Zoom chat, there's a form you can click on to request a mentor. We have a WhatsApp group. If you haven't yet joined, the link is in the Zoom chat, and the link is also on the course website. That's a chance to interact with us, the hosts of the course, and we post regular messages sharing what we're learning in Sahaja Yoga, and we always invite you to share what you're learning in Sahaja Yoga. So now comes a very enjoyable part for us who are hosting to meet with you. You can ask us questions, You can just do a text with chat Q&A. You can ask for a Sahaja teacher in a one-on-one breakout room by typing breakout room help, sending a response to that place. And you can also put a chat message directly to me, the MC. So now I invite back Satish.
Yeah. Thank you, Mark.
So they say that you're from the Eastern culture and I'm from the Western culture, but of course the humor is that I'm on the East Coast and you're on the West Coast.
Yeah.
So
What an
that's the
irony.
fun of Sahaja Yoga. So we're looking for your Western outlook this evening.
Yep.
In the talk, Shri Mataji says that we attain a state after our Kundalini is awakened of collective consciousness. And you mentioned that during the time that you were leading us in a silent meditation. How do you know that you are in a state of collective consciousness, Satish?
Yeah, very good question, Mark. I mean, this is a very broad subject, but to kind of make it easy to understand for everyone, um, this is when our spirit, when the Mother Kundalini awakens within us, it actually enlightens our soul, our Atma, which in the heart, basically. And when that enlightens, our heart is the reflection. It reflects on our Sahasrara, which is the top of this area, which is the last chakra. And when the heart then gets integrated with this mind, and when heart and mind both are integrated, that's where we connect to this beautiful universal consciousness. And that's where we start getting this beautiful sensation or a feeling of vibrations in our hands. And we start not only start feeling our own chakras, but we start feeling others also. We start to know each person, which chakra is catching, what are the problems they're having, everything. So that's how we become more collectively conscious. And not only that, we are all, when we are meditating together, we are all connected here through this consciousness. And we become very subtly integrated with each other. And that's the best I can explain is the collective consciousness, Mark.
Yeah, sometimes I'll feel like put my attention on Satish and go, all right, he's working on those things in his life because I can feel the state of your chakras, even though I'm not even anywhere near you. But also, I can just feel your sort of meditative state and that you are giving off all the time some kind of beautiful energy, some kind of peace, like something that you're actually tangibly encountering. And I can just open myself and just be enjoying that, absorbing it, feeling it. And I know it's not me. Me by myself is not going to feel that good. So that sort of increase in the enjoyment of the meditation for me is that collective aspect that I'm aware, and I'm aware that it's not just me alone. And then one of the aspects of the Father Principle is, in a way, in our traditional cultural idea that we have somebody who kind of has to make decisions, take charge, be responsible, look after others. And of course, in our modern society, this is equally shared through men and women. And so now that you've been meditating for a while, Satish, have you been able to develop leadership qualities?
Yes, actually, just to briefly tell my story, I started Sahaja Yoga when I was in India. And from what I am right now, I'm talking in front of people, in front of the camera. I would never have dreamt about that, that 20 years ago. I was a very introvert. I didn't have much friends. I used to be very secluded by myself, very, closed. And when I started to meditate, when I started to really feel this power of Kundalini established within me, I could see the difference within no time. I could see that my personality has changed. I started to make more good friends. I started to develop good connections with people. And not only that, I think it also helped change other people's lives because even though I was not talking much, but I was emitting that vibrations where people could feel it, and they would ask me, "What are you doing?" And I would give them this experience, and I would say that really helped my leadership qualities. And now I'm able to give programs in front of 100 people, talk about Sahaja Yoga very freely, and help people to establish them in and have the same exact thing that which I experienced.
And harness this amazing technology that makes this spread so widely.
Exactly.
So a special treat for me now is to welcome onto the program two amazing people. I have to say it. I feel such affection for both of them. So welcome Don and Eric. If you want to put on your videos, and we will have you join us in the meeting.
Greetings.
All right. Hi, Don.
Hello.
Hello, Don.
And
Hello,
hi,
Eric.
Eric.
Hi,
Hello.
Satish.
Nice to see you all.
Nice seeing you.
Thanks
All
for
right.
joining.
So we have East and West, and now we have North and South. We've got Massachusetts, and we've got Tennessee. So all the compass points. Eric, have you noticed any change in your leadership qualities?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I think starting off as being especially kind of a male in the Western, male dominated society, I think so many times we kind of, especially growing up, confuse dominance with leadership. So I know that was one thing that that Sahaja really helped me with, is to realize that those are two very different things. And so many times, any dominance is actually anti-leadership. But it's so easy to fall into that as a male in this country, um, and it's really helped a lot, especially too when we talk about the role of leadership in the family. Again, I was kind of was dominant as far as that goes, with my wife and children, and I didn't realize at the time. I thought I was just being the the male of the family, the alpha male. And then you realize through Sahaja Yoga, when you start to really make those connections, and through introspection and meditation, you start to realize that's not what is meant by leadership or being a good leader or being a good father. It's not about all those things that we thought maybe or were taught that way from cultural, and our parents were taught the same thing, our fathers were taught the same thing. And so that's one thing I noticed Sahaja has really changed, um, my sense of leadership.
Okay.
Beautiful to hear, Eric. You talked about introspection. That's something which is really amazing that when you start meditating, you start first finding fault within yourselves. You start realizing how deep you are, like how many things you have to overcome, before you start judging others. That's something even I have experienced that. Yeah, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you.
You noticed any effect on your leadership qualities, Don?
Um, I would say that we talked about Sri Rama. That's still the heart, and you kind of have to approach not so much dominance, but from a place of love, and that shifts your perspective slightly, and it allows you to see people as whole people who you kind of as you adore, and it gives you more range to love them and forgive them and just allow them to be themselves, and you kind of grow more as a group that way.
So the topic of this class is the father principle. Um, what is your understanding of that in your life, Eric?
Well, I've actually had a great experience. I have two young children now. Again, I've had kids older, but of course I wasn't in Sahaja yoga. So it's so interesting to see the parallels between actual fatherhood and the father principle, as I understand it anyway, through Sahaja yoga. But um, so much of it um, is that. And you see it again, like I see it when my wife does practices Sahaja yoga as well. She's a yogini, and you see the difference in how we approach the children. Um, she'll do everything, and I'm often that still very loving voice, but I'm the one saying, "Listen to your mother." So a lot of times I feel like that's a lot of the times, what's going on. A lot of times that is that very loving. Um, it's not necessarily, it's not firm, and it certainly again isn't dominant. It's just stern. This is what's best for you. Listen, pay attention to mother. I even sometimes within my own self, I sometimes can feel that now. I'll be like, mother says, mother's told us how we take care of this, do our foot soaks, do our meditation. And then sometimes I can feel my father principle inside me saying, listen to mother. She'll forgive everything. She always does. But if you want to really get somewhere in life, and spiritually, you've got to listen to mother. You need to sit. You got to buckle down and actually do it. So I feel like that's where my father principle often plays a strong point in my spirituality, as well as then once you have that understanding within yourself. um it's made me a better father. I mean, I know that, that me just without a doubt, starting to have that understanding of a balanced and spiritual father figure. Um, that's it. I mean, that's the ideal. I mean, that's the role model for how we, raise our children.
Yeah, yeah, very beautifully said, Eric. And yeah, and Don has spoken very beautiful about this quality of Sri Rama, that basically in our right heart, when he establishes, when the principle of Sri Rama gets established within us, those are all the qualities that reflect within us, because everything, all that we have is within us, everything. And as you know, Sri Rama actually, he lived like more than 10,000 years ago. He was ruling a very beautiful kingdom, and he was very fair in his subjects. He was very righteous. Like you said, he was very loving, a very loving person. He never had that quality of dominance, and that's why people loved him and used to respect him. And as far as I know, like as long as he lived, I think all people, they had healthy lives. Nobody died early. All the crops were green. So, it's amazing that that kind of principle, if we hold and we carry on and reflect on others, imagine what change we can bring into this planet.
One thing that's always stuck with me is mother make one talk. She's talked about several times about Rama, but she talks about he would never ask someone to do anything for him. If he was in the boardroom, he would be the one to get up and go around and turn on the light switch or shut the door. He wouldn't ask someone else to do it. He would just get up dignified and do that. And and especially as you became grow in spirituality, start to realize what a great quality that really is. I mean, especially considered, in juxtaposition with how what we're often taught of as being, a father figure or a dominant figure. That really is, just such a great role model.
Don, you're a father like Eric. Um, in your meditative state, when you're sort of exploring all the different qualities within us that are our spiritual qualities, what does that mean to you, the father principle?
Not overly exerting oneself. Like we talked about balance. I'll use a metaphor. It's like we all can be very busy with different things, and allowing whoever's in the moment say handling kids, whoever is in the driver's seat with the kids, some person may be working on some project, doing some work, someone else may be handling kids, whoever's doing that is in the driver's seat, and allowing that balance to occur and respecting them, and not going over the line and second guessing them, even even if you might think, well, they're not doing it the way I would do it. You still want to let them be the person in charge at that moment, and not get upset, and definitely not fight in front of children. And respect all the parties involved, and then later on you can always kind of have a conversation.
Yeah.
I sort of see the father principle as someone needs to guide me, and someone needs to look out for me, and someone needs to really respect me. And oh my goodness, guess what? That's inside me. And let me strengthen that part of me that is that loving father, that let me be a good son to that quality within me. Satish, how is the father principle working in your life? How do you understand that?
I understand it. I agree with Don, what he said, especially how to be a good parent in front of the children, how to be, respectful. Only if we are respectful, they will respect you, and that's very important. And also, I think in Sahaja Yoga, like what I experienced, the father principle, it just doesn't stay with our own family, but then it goes beyond that, because you start exhibiting, or you start emitting that kind of qualities outside too, and where people start seeing those, and they actually start seeing how you are, when people come to our house, or when we go together as a family, they see how you are as a family, you know. That's what shows your meditation, your practice. It's not just, okay, I'm meditating, and it's not like that. So people see the relation, people see how the children are, how they reflect the qualities that are there, and that's how you know that, okay, yeah, then the father qualities are working, yeah.
Yeah, I notice it especially in Sahaja Yoga that the children um, are not shy. They're
Yep.
like, hello there, I'm a person,
Yeah.
and what are you doing? And they're curious, and they can be very affectionate, and they may want something, but they're not going to make a huge fuss and whine about it. And you can know that they didn't just pluck that out of the air, that they've got a mother and a father who exhibit all these amazing qualities of you're in the moment, this is how it is, it's another hour till we can stop in the car, and we're not going to make a big deal about it, or whatever it is. Um, and so,
Yeah, those are the qualities which I think Sri Rama has explained, is the maryadas, is the boundaries,
mhm.
and that's what I think we reflect when our father principle is awakened.
Okay, this is so enjoyable to meet people that looking forward to seeing you again soon in person.
Yeah, it's
And
so beautiful to meet actually Eric and Don. I hope we can one day meet in
I was
person.
wanting to mention too, actually, that anybody else that's, anybody still watching, I
Yeah.
went to it last year, and especially I want to stress, especially if you're not around other Sahaja yogis or yoginis, you make every effort to come to this intermediate session, because it really changes your entire relationship with the Sahaja yoga. You just realize so much more now. We always have, I remember my first year and having all these warm feelings towards Mark and Linda and all the other presenters, but you think they're presenters, but then you get together with other Sahaja yogis that you've never
Yeah.
met. And within just a just a few little bit of meditation, and you're like, they feel like brothers and sisters. It's just an amazing
Exactly.
experience. So if you haven't had that experience as a new yogi or yogini, do make every effort to come to this seminar, because you'll realize the depth of this meditation practice and the spiritual connection. You may not even, I'm not even one that could feel chakras on people's hands, but you just feel that connection. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I was there, and I'll attest that Eric was a great guy too.
Awesome.
All righty. So all of you with us here in the online broadcast and all of us still with us watching, wish you all a very good evening, and looking forward to seeing you Sunday evening for the next program in our 21-day series. So thanks so much, guys, for joining us.
Thank you.
Nice
Thank
to
you so
meet
much.
you, Satish.
Yeah.
Jai Shri Mataji.
Nice meeting you. Jai Shri Mataji. Yeah. Thank you.
Jai Shri Mataji, yeah.